I was the youngest kid, and I had a lot of older siblings, and my older siblings they seemed so confident and ambitious and risky. They loved to take risks, and they were really into like athletics, winter sports and skateboarding and cliff diving, and, jumping off of the big, what do you call that when you swim and you jump off the high dive? And I just could not do any of that. I was so terrified. I just watched them and I was amazed. So I had all these fears. I had a fear of television, really irrational. I had a fear of hot water. I didn't want to drink anything that wasn't room temperature or cooler. And I had a fear of like anything that was flying, like birds and bats and airplanes and things like that. Anything that cast a shadow. I thought that was just some terrible like existential phenomenon, casting a shadow, a moving shadow over the landscape. And my biggest fear was fear of heights, and it was terrifying. We lived in the sixth floor in a building in Detroit, and my parents would always just hold me over the edge and say, "Look, it's not so bad." And so I was terrified. I wouldn't go on the roof, I wouldn't even climb up the hills. I wouldn't go up mountains, I couldn't climb ladders. So to overcome my fear of heights, and when I went to college, I decided I was going to just climb everything tall. So I went up the sand dunes, and I went up the fire escapes, and I climbed on top of the aspirin factory downtown, and I climbed on top of the science building, the biology building, the humanities department. And I would just put a blindfold on, and I would just follow my friend. My friend Michael would go first, and I would just follow him, and I would just hear his shoelaces hitting whatever gear, and I would just follow the shoelaces, the sound. And then when we got to the top, we would take the handkerchief from my eyes, and I would just glance at the expanse, the space, the distance, proximity, and I would get used to that. And it became a thrill, and I got really addicted to it. And so I overcame my fear of heights. And you can too with my 12-step program.